Yes, sir. You already know what it is, man. It's Mr. Brian Freeman checking in. We're going to get into a good ramble. Today, we are talking about focusing on the root and not the fruit. So, a tree, right? A tree goes up and it goes down, right? When it's growing, you don't see the roots first, right? The roots is the most important thing. The roots is what you can't see. It's the foundation. You know what I'm saying? If you have strong roots, then you can grow and create fruit. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody can benefit from the fruit. But if you don't have the roots, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, that means that you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. You feel me? So when I say focus on the roots and not the fruit, the roots is what nobody else can see. That's when you're by yourself in isolation, figuring out your life, figuring out who you are, figuring out what it is that you want to do, what gifts that God gave to you to give to everybody else. It's a whole process. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, in my life, what I had to figure out was how I was going to contribute to the world. You know what I'm saying? My music, it wasn't taking off how I thought it would. You know what I'm saying? But I was always developing myself, learning about the universe, is universal laws, figuring out my vices, figuring out what is conducive to my success, right? Networking, being around the right people, work ethic, consistency. These are all things that are the roots of your success. Success is the fruit. You know what I'm saying? But the roots is what allows the fruit to even grow. So everybody is different. Everybody's gifts are different. But if you don't figure out what your gift is, you know what I'm saying? And that could really be through isolation and like having extreme focus, right? Like with Steph Curry, right? The roots is him going in the gym when nobody, like when the world is not watching and shooting however many shots that he's making every single day, right? People don't see with Cadillac Chronicles, they see when we're driving around and we drop all of these videos, right? But I'm doing this every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing this, shooting 1 to 2 episodes every single day, having to edit these videos, mix all of the music. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't see that. Everybody's talking about, oh, how does it sound so good? It's because I've taught myself through years how to engineer and mix to get the perfect mix. Cause you know what I'm saying? I think all of my senses are kind of like sensitive. So like I taste stuff, you know what I'm saying? My nose, I can smell stuff. Like I hear things. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of my gifts, I guess. So this is all the work that's behind the scenes. That's the root. So people get to see the fruit. You know what I'm saying? We get to be on the news, have all these activations, brand deals, yada, yada, yada. Cool. But it's the root. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most important thing. If you don't have a foundation, even if you become successful, it's gonna be taken away. Like I have been successful in the past where I ran it up like $500,000 in a year. Crazy, right? But I lost it all because I wasn't rooted. Like I was so disciplined, right? I was so disciplined, and then I got to a certain level, and then I just became complacent and just comfortable and turned away from everything that got me to that point. And I lost everything. And because I lost everything, that was the birth of Cadillac Chronicles because I was on my last and I had to figure it out. You feel me? So then I had to let go of all of the distractions. I had to become super focused. You know what I'm saying? And it worked out for me. But I attribute that to God. Like God and me being able to work hard. And I don't want to say work hard, but put forth effort and give them my time and my attention, right? And constantly working on myself. So so Jim Rohn, he said this. I don't know if he came up with this or somebody told him, but he said that if you work a job, you work for a salary. But if you work on yourself, you can make a fortune, right? Because when you work on yourself, you become more valuable. And when you're working on yourself, you have to have that foundation. Like right now, I feel like even when I had all of that money, right? I was so scared because I didn't have the foundation. I didn't know what to do. Now that I had to start from zero and build all the way back up, I'm so confident in myself because I really made something out of nothing, right? And when you make if you make something out of nothing and you really build it, this is not an overnight success. Like this, I want to make this extremely clear. This is not an overnight success. I've been at this for, how old am I right now? More than 20 years, realistically. Realistically. And I'm not saying 20 years of being extremely focused. Realistically, I feel like I've learned so much in about 18 years, but then 2 years of being extremely focused and giving it all that I got. You feel me? Make it look like an overnight success, but I took so long to figure it out. But once I figured it out, got right to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. You feel me? But my confidence, I feel like if I was to lose everything, I'll figure it out again. Because it's so different. Especially when you get to a certain level and then you lose it. Because it's anybody could get lucky. You know what I'm saying? But if you get lucky and then you lose everything and then you get it again, it's like, nah, now you got some knowledge and expertise. You got that foundation. And that's what I built, is that foundation. That's the root. You feel me? And now everybody can benefit from the fruit. And I got a song. It's called Might Change Your Life. It's like, this game might change your life. That's Infinite Supreme. That wasn't Mr. Brian Freeman. That was when I was rapping about being a player and all this crazy stuff that I used to be into. But in that song, I said, people focus on the fruit. Me, I focus on the root. And that's what I'm talking about right now. It's like, don't focus on the outside, what people can see. Like, that's cool. But the most important thing is the root. That's what people can't see. That's when you're by yourself. Like, that's why Rick Ross, who said that? I don't think it was Rick Ross. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Like, being in the gym, making all them shots, that's the root. That's that foundation. You feel me? You have to work on that foundation. Your work ethic, your consistency, doing good business, having integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all important things that take you to the next level. And when you have that foundation, right? When you get the opportunity, you are super prepared. Because anybody can get lucky. But how many times can you get lucky? As many times as you are prepared. You feel me? So you got to have that foundation, man. Shout out to having a foundation. I don't know what that foundation means for you that's watching this video, because I don't know your gifts. But we all have gifts. God blesses us, every single person on this planet, with gifts. And the reason that he gives us these gifts is so that we can share them and we can gift them to the people. You know what I'm saying? And then we're rewarded for those gifts, right? So you have to figure out your gifts. And then you work on discipline, integrity, consistency, work ethic, your focus. You know what I'm saying? These are all things that build the foundation and the structure that you can build upon to get higher and higher and higher and get to these higher levels. You feel me? So shout out to having structure. Shout out to focusing on the root, so that you can create a fruit that everybody wants to benefit from and everybody can benefit from. You dig what I'm saying? If you're watching this video, I know that you're going to be successful. I know that you're going to be wealthy and abundant. I wish that on you and your family. You feel me? You already know what it is. It's Mr. Brian Freeman. I'm checking out. Peace.